it's Angela Thompson, and I chose France to do my presentation on. I chose France because I have a friend who, she and her family has actually moved here from France, and I thought that would be an extra resource for my project and also give me some more insight into what life is like over there versus here in the States. So I did find out some history of France. Back in the 18th century, France was prominently a Catholic country. Many of their daily routines, their prayers, and their holidays were dictated to the people by the Catholic Church. Fast forwarding through many religious battles that did take place in France that paved the way for new religions to become known and accepted. Particularly the Protestants and the Muslims. And there also was a shift in the fact that some people decided that they didn't want to have any religious affiliations at all. And I found it very interesting that with the Muslim religion, that by 2002 that their numbers had increased in France to almost 5 million. And the French government, in response to this, created the National Convention of French Muslims. And they did this for a couple of reasons. The first reason would be that they hoped to foster a generation of Muslims from France to prevent more radical groups from coming over here. And the second reason would be because they are a nation who tries to bring in all of their minorities and make them feel like they are part of something bigger, like everyone is maybe from somewhere else, but we're all French. And that's where they're trying to strike that balance. They're trying to find a way to integrate everyone and also prevent any of these radical religious members from coming over and to their country and causing chaos. That's something that I kind of see a parallel here in the States. We're also going through a lot of change and a lot of trying to integrate everyone together, and finding that balance is kind of hard, especially with the Muslims, because there is sort of a blanket fear of that religion, because we do hear and see on the television many negative things, and that's keeping in mind that's only the radical part that we are seeing. So hopefully we can learn a little bit from France and still try work through our fears and try to pull together as a nation. But that's one thing I did find out about France, that they really pride themselves on being intelligent and intellectual society, and that they look out for their people, whether they're poor or whether they're rich. They try to preserve everyone's way of life through their systems. The national language in France is French, and I found out that if you are French, you most likely also speak English. And if you're a minority in France, it's most likely that you speak your native language and you also can speak French. There is a great emphasis in France on their system of employment and preserving the livelihood of its citizens, based on the fact that they get longer vacation times, they get more time off, guaranteed wages. That's something that their citizens are provided for by their government. It's not uncommon if a business is going under for the government to step in and give them a hand, because they believe that that is the backbone to being a great nation, a great country. So they are trying to pull together and be unified, but also move forward globally and economically, but they still want to preserve those things that they do hold so dear. And one thing that I did read is that they feel like the U.S. system of government is too harsh, that it doesn't provide enough for its citizens who are underprivileged or poor. They feel like that our economic system is basically just driven by money and the market and benefits the rich. One thing that I did also read is that France values their views as solidarity. The concessions have been made, but educating and integrating all of their people remains at the top of their list. One thing that I did find out by speaking with the Manier family is that if you are going to interact with someone in France, if you went over there, politeness is at the top of the list. Saying please, saying thank you, being appreciative. Tipping is something that is widely done there. It's not a 20% gratuity like we have here in the States, but it's a small amount, but they tip whenever they're given a service, even if it's a small service. Handshakes, if you're a man, you'll be shaking hands, and hugs are not as common there as they are here. More the kiss on this cheek and then the kiss on this cheek, and that's through all the classes. So if you're with a business partner, you would offer your, each side. If you're with your grandmother, you would do the same. And they also feel like we should have manners wherever we go, because Americans are sometimes considered very loud, very boisterous people, and they like calmness, which goes against what I perceived a typical French person to be. I think that's about it.